Right, this is grade 6, unit 2, lesson 8. And in this lesson, we're going to be continuing talking about our ratios. Only this time, we're going to get into unit rates, where we use that equivalent ratio idea to figure out the cost of one thing or the weight of one thing. That we're going to figure out how much for one. So let's get started. All right, parents and teachers, we're going to get started with a nice a number talk. And the idea is we want our students to figure out how to find the quotient mentally. All right, and the idea is, okay, so what is quotient? So remember that quotient is essentially saying 246 divided by 12 is what? And that's the quotient right there. And there's a lot of ways that a student might think of this problem mentally. And parents and teachers, we're going to let students just kind of work that out themselves. Of course, one of the ideas is to recognize that 12 times 20 equals 240. So there's your big clue, right? And so that's the idea for this number talk. Right, we're going to actually start with the actual lesson now, and it does use this GeoGebra applet, but to be honest, man, it just did not help me much. I got more involved in playing with the applet than actually understanding the math. So I just didn't dig it this time around. If you want to use it, you're welcome to. Either take a picture of your QR code here or go to this link right here, and that'll send you to the applet. It's nice. It just didn't help me much. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at 8 avocados cost $4, and then we want to figure out how much do 16 avocados cost, how much do 20 avocados cost, how much do 9 avocados cost. So we're going to begin with this first ratio. 8 avocados cost $4, right? And so we're going to put that onto a double number line. And so I'm going to do one number line here, and then I'm going to do another number line here, and that's why it's called a double number line. And it doesn't really matter which is which. So I'll say this is the cost, and I'll say the other one is the avocado. Whatever. Okay, so the idea is if we buy 0 avocados, it's going to cost us $0. So it always starts at 0, 0, doesn't it? Okay, and then when we start looking at that first ratio that we were given, 8 avocados equals $4. Now, it does not matter where we put it. I'm going to put it right here. And so I'm going to put 8 avocados equals $4. And that's what that means. So I'm going to take that ratio up here, and I'm going to write it on the double number line. So here's the line for cost. Here's the line for avocados. So it says if we want, how much does it do 16 avocados cost? So if we know 8 avocados cost $4, where would we put 16 avocados? I don't know, right around here. Because I figure, okay, if that's a gap for 8, then this is a gap for another 8. So if this is the gap for 4, this is the gap for another 4, which gives me $8. All right, so there we go with the 16 avocados is going to cost us $8. But now it says, well, how much for 20 avocados? Well, I'm going to think about this. I'm going to say, well, I know if 8 avocados equals $4, I can go backwards half. I can cut the avocados in half. Instead of having 8 avocados, I can buy half as many, which means it's going to cost half as much. Instead of costing $4, it's now going to cost $2, because 4 avocados costs $2. Well, if I have 16 avocados equaling $8 and 4 avocados equaling $2, I can add these together. 4 plus 16, that's going to give me 20, and I don't know where that's going to go. How about right there? And since 4 plus 16 gives me 20 avocados, that means 2 plus 8 is going to give me $10. So there's our I'm done with that one. I'm done with that one. Now the next question is, how much do 9 avocados cost? Oh my goodness. Well, I can continue with this little ratio. I can cut this in half. If 4 avocados cost $2, well, that means 2 avocados costs $1. And I could cut it in half even one more and say 1 avocado equals, oh my goodness, right here is 50 cents. So I now know that 8 avocados cost $4. 1 avocado equals 50 cents, costs 50 cents. So 1 avocado plus 8 avocados equals, and I'll put it right here, I'll just go right there and say 9 avocados. So that means I'm going to do 50 cents for the 1 avocado plus $4 for the 8 avocados equals $4.50. And now I'm done with that one as well. We're going to do the same idea with another double number line. Only this time we're going to be talking about bottles of water. So, okay, it doesn't matter where I put which. So I'll put the cost up here, cost, and I'll put the water right here. Oops, there we go. Water right here. There we go. All right, and then we know it's always going to start at 0 and 0. Because if I buy no water, it had better cost me $0. So there you go. So now we're going to start with 12 large bottles cost $9. All right. So it doesn't really matter where I put that. Oh, I'll put 12. Oops. Let's see. I want my little eraser. There we go. And I want to put 12 is going to cost me $9. How did I get that? Because it says so right here. And there we go. It says so right there. There. It took me forever to get the highlight. Okay, so how many bottles can you buy for $3? All right. Well, if we know that we want to get the dollars to $3, I can imagine cutting this into 3 pieces and 3 equal pieces. That makes this 3, this 6, and there's my 9. So I'm kind of like doing hops, 3, 6, 9. Well, if I'm going to cut this into 3 pieces, that means I need to cut this, the water line, into 3 pieces. Only this time it's going to be 4, 8, and 12, because that's how we're going to get 4, 8, and 12 right there. So how many bottles can you buy for $3? Well, here's your $3. You could get 4 water bottles for $3. So the answer is 4. So now it says, what is the cost per bottle of water? So that means we've got the 4 water bottles cost $3, but I need to figure out how much to get down to 1 water bottle. So I'm going to do a little zoom in here. I'm going to zoom in, and if I cut it in half, I get 2 water bottles. That's $1.50. So if I cut that in half, I get 1 water bottle, which means I'm going to have to cut $1.50 in half. And so that equals 75 cents for 1 water bottle. And there's my work. Boom. So 1 water bottle equals 75 cents right there. Now, how much would 7 water bottles cost? Well, if we know that 1 water bottle costs 75 cents, there's a couple of ways we could do it. We could just take 1 water bottle times by 7, 75 cents times 7. So one way, go away. We could do 75 cents times 7. That's one way to do it. But another way we could do it is we can see that 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7. 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7. So since 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 7, we could do 75 cents plus $1.50 plus 3, and that's going to give us the answer for right there. So let's see. $3 plus $1 is $4. 75 cents plus 50 cents is $1.25. So $4 plus $1.25 is $5.25. So seven bottles of water is going to cost us $5.75. So parents and teachers, you're getting the idea of what we're looking for. We're looking for students to use a double number line to make sense of the story. And in this case, let's see, in this case, it's going to be go away. There we are. Nope. There we are. Okay. So in this case, we're talking about cost, and we're talking flour, and really we're talking pounds. Now I'm going to, let's see if I could do this. Flour. And then can I move it? Let's see if I can move it. Oh, yeah, I can. Look at that. All right. And there's our flour. And the idea would be, obviously, if you buy 0 pounds of flour, it's going to cost you $0. So there's my 0 right there. And then the question says a 10-pound sack costs $8. So it doesn't really matter where you're going to put it. 10 pounds is going to cost you $8. How much does 40 pounds cost? Well, 10, 20, 30, 40. So there's 40. So 20 is going to cost you 16. 30 is going to cost you 24. And that means 40 is going to cost you 32, because we're just, for every every 10 pounds, it's going to cost you $8. So 8, 16, 24, 32. So what's the cost per pound of flour? Man, there's a bunch of ways you could do that. But basically, we want to figure out, well, if 5 pounds costs $4, that's pretty easy. So now we need to figure out, let's do it in blue. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The idea being, we need to cut this $4 into 5 pieces, because that's going to tell us that down here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we have to divide that 4 divided by 5, and that's going to give us the cost per pound of flour. And 4 divided by 5 is going to equal 80 cents. So it's 80 cents for 1 pound of flour. Right here, 0.8 gives us that 1 pound of flour. So this one I'm not really going to go into detail, because it's really just more of the same. You know, the idea is students are going to be given a whole host of stories, and in this case, students are going to be getting into groups of 3 or 4, and they're going to be assigned one problem, either this one or this one or this one. And the idea is going to be they're going to work on it as a group, and then they're going to solve it, and then they're going to share, and that's how this is going to go. It's more of the same. So on those previous problem examples is really how you're going to go about solving this set of problems. So to wrap up our lesson, basically we learned about a double number line, and we use this double number line to keep a collection of all of our equivalent ratios. And the big summary, glossary word that we're going to pay attention to is that unit, the unit price in this case. We're always figuring out the cost for one thing. All right, now it's time for us to practice with some homework. All right, now starting with our practice problems. Okay, so problem 1, it says, in 2016, the cost of 2 ounces of pure gold, was $2,640. Complete the double number line to show the cost for 1, 3, and 4. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. All right, well, if 2 costs 2,640, cutting that in half, that gives us 1 right here, 1, and that's going to give us 1,320 because all I had to do is cut it in half. Now, if we want to know 3 ounces, well, that's pretty straightforward. All we have to do is 1 plus 2 gives us 3. So all we have to do is add 1,320 plus 2,640. And when we add those together, we're going to get 3,960. 3,960. And that gives us the value for 3 ounces. Now, if we want to get 4 ounces, right here, 4 ounces. So really a couple of ways we could do it. We could do 3 plus 1, and that'll give us 4. Or we could just double 2, couldn't we? So if we want to double 2 to get 4, that means we're going to double the cost. And I don't know what the heck that is. 0.825, 5,280 bucks. All right, so doing the same idea for question 2. Double number line shows that 4 pounds cost 14 bucks. So they got it way over here. 4 pounds equals $14. Draw tick marks to show 1, 2, and 3. All right, so there is our 1, 2, and 3. So now we need to figure out the costs. Well, if 4 pounds is 14 bucks, 2 pounds, it's got to be 7 bucks. And then since to go from 2 to 1, you just cut it in half. That means you got to do 7 cut in half. And that's going to give us 3.5 or $3.50. And then in order to get the 3 pounds, a couple of ways we could do it. We can either take the 1 and triple it, or we can add the 1 plus 2 to get 3. So 350 plus 7 is going to give us $10.50. All right, so now we're told that 4 movie tickets cost 48 bucks, and we're supposed to figure out at that rate what are the cost of these 2 situations, 5 movie tickets and 11 movie tickets. So we're going to make our little double number line. And let's say here's our tickets and here's the cost. And we're told that 4 movie tickets, and I'll do it, I don't know, it doesn't matter really where, 4 movie tickets cost us 48 bucks. And then, of course, if we bought 0 tickets, it would cost $0. So now let's just get going on this. So 2 tickets is going to cost us 24 bucks. 1 ticket is going to cost us $12. Because we're just basically, if we're cutting the number of tickets in half, then we're cutting the cost in half. So how are we going to get 5 movie tickets? Well, 4 plus 1 is 5. So $48 plus $12 is 60 bucks. So there's our cost for 5 movie tickets is 60 bucks. And then, of course, 11 movie tickets. So how are we going to get 11? So what combination can we think of? Well, a combination that I could think of is that I could take 5 twice plus 1. And there's my cost for 11 tickets. And I could just put that right here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Well, 5 tickets twice is $120, plus 1 more ticket is $12 more. So 120 plus 12 is $132. $132. And you get the idea. So it's that double number line is just crazy, crazy powerful. And so for question 4, it's all more of the same. Priya bought these items, find the unit price. So basically we're trying to find the cost of 1 egg for each of these situations. So you're going to draw a double number line 4 times, 1 double number line for each of these problems. And that's basically what you're going to do. All right, for a little bit of review, Claire made a smoothie, and here is her recipe right here. And then it says Kieran tried to double this recipe. So Kieran used these ingredients right here, and he says it doesn't taste right. And your job is to compare these two recipes and ask yourself, did Kieran exactly double Claire's recipe? And if the answer is yes, great. Although they're giving you a hint, it didn't. He said he didn't think it tastes right. So your job is to figure out where did he go wrong and what should he change so that his smoothie tastes exactly like Claire's. And for our last problem of our homework, so you've got this crazy shape right here. All right. And ordinarily, this shape, if it was floating in space, would have 6 faces: the top, a bottom, a front, a back, a left, and a right. But it says, what is the area of all the faces excluding the bottom? So we do not need to find the bottom. So your job is to find the area of the top right here, which happens to be this. That's the top. And then once you've figured out the area of the top, your job is to then find the area of the front and the back. They're different, so you can't just find one and then double it, all right? And then your job is to find the area of the left and the right. Here's the right, there's the left. And again, those are different, I think. No, those look actually the same. So those are the same. And then once you've found the area of all 5 of those faces, the top, the front, the back, the left, and the right, you're going to add them together. And that's a nice little review of all the area stuff that we've been doing earlier in the year. And that wraps up Grade 6, Unit 2, Lesson 8. Students were using the double number line to find the unit price of a whole bunch of things.